Hi, this is Angela Prentner-Smith, Managing Director of This Is Milk, and I'm here with Angela's Talks talking about you're not shit, it's your work that's shit. Reason we're talking about this is last week I was asked to be on a panel talking about failure and mistakes and how we guide people through work-based, professional, personal failures and mistakes. And one thing that I think is really important to come out of these concepts is that making mistakes and trialing things, making errors is really, really important. That's how we learn new things. That's how we innovate. And unfortunately, the school system has taught us more to do. You have to be perfect, right? We have to pass tests and you're judged on whether you got things right. But actually, apparently WD-40, the reason it's WD-40 is that they made 39 mistakes before they got to the 40th one. And if we aren't making mistakes and we aren't trying things, then we aren't really learning. We're just doing what the last person did. And there's definitely something in here about being able to detach yourself from that product, right? If you're trying to say, run a marketing campaign and the first marketing campaign didn't work, well, you did that one based on some assumptions and that work didn't work. It was shit. That doesn't mean that you're shit, because actually your ability to have tried something, tested it, learn from it, and do something else is going to be far more valuable to you as an individual, to your team, and to your company than had you just gone out with something and just kept going with something that wasn't working. And trying to hide from that and trying to hide from that mistake and hide from that failure means that nobody's learning and that you can't pivot quickly. So it's really important to be able to detach yourself from that end product, from that work. You're not shit, it's your work. So some ways of doing this as well is about being able to kind of cut your work down really small. If you're able to break it into parts and do, right, this part first, put that in front of someone, get early feedback, and start to basically habitualize breaking things down and getting frequent feedback, your work will improve over time. But yes, you will get more criticism. You will get more feedback because you're putting it out there. But it's also de-risking the potential of having a big catastrophic failure, which none of us really want in a personal or a professional capacity. One example of this from my personal life is it took me 9 times to pass my driving test. I am not a shit driver. It just took me longer to learn and longer to get there. It was a shit journey. It took me a long time. I had the wrong instructors, but I got there, and it doesn't mean that I'm a shit driver. Just like you're not a shit marketer if you got an experiment wrong a couple of times. So looking at things in the perspective of there's a situation or there's a work product and it's not me. I am learning and I am always on a journey. And being on that journey and appreciating that journey also is where we get happiness from. It's not actually from achieving our goals, it's from the journey. So remembering that learning failure routine is part and parcel of your growth and part and parcel of the strength and the happiness that we get from being on a journey towards something. So no, you're not shit, it's your work. In another context, however, if you're in a shit work experience, you're in a toxic work culture, maybe you have a boss that doesn't listen to you, you feel like you can't speak up, you are not that situation and you are not defined by that situation. So giving yourself the distance to be able to look at it from, I feel quite powerless in this situation, however, it's not me. It is the situation. And that will help you on things like going for your next job, so that you're not going with the baggage of thinking, I'm not very good at this. I'm shit. It's not you that's shit. It's your work. It's your work situation. So in both of those senses, being able to kind of distinguish between what is about you and what is just part of the learning or just part of the situation is really important. So that's it for today's Angela Talks. But before I go, if you could please hit subscribe so that I know people are listening and still want me to do this. Thank you.